Good afternoon, good evening, fellow YouTubers. It's Kenneth Powers. Welcome back. Part 14 is now in session. Let's begin with the 2009 Blu Ray release of The Day the Earth Stood Still, starring Keanu Reeves. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Jennifer Connelly, Jaden Smith, John Cleese, John Hamm, and Kathy Bates. Directed by Scott Derrickson. The film itself is from 2008. Rated PG-13 and runs an hour and runs 104 minutes. Up next is the 2017 Blu-ray release of Days of Thunder, starring Tom Cruise. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. 4 stars. Best movie of the summer, says Steve Kmetka of KCBS TV, Los Angeles. Comes on like thunder. It's a winner, says Joel Siegel, WABC TV, New York. Also starring Robert Duvall, Randy Quaid, Nicole Kidman, and Carrie Elways. Directed by Tony Scott. The film itself is from 1990. Rated PG-13 and runs 107 minutes. Up next is the 2011 Blu-ray release of Dazed and Confused, starring Ben Affleck, Mila Jovovich, Jason London, Joey Lauren Adams, Parker Posey, and Matthew McConaughey. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. The most slightly funny and dead-on portrait of American teenage life ever made, says Entertainment Weekly. Directed by Richard Linklater. The film itself is from 1993. Rated R. Runs an hour and 43 minutes. Up next is the 2010 Blu-ray release of Deep Impact. A thriller with brains, says Gene Shalit of Today. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Robert Duvall, Tia Leone, Elijah Wood, Vanessa Redgrave, Maximilian Schell, and Morgan Freeman. Directed by Mimi Leader. The film itself is from 1998. Rated PG-13 and runs 121 minutes. Up next is the 2019 Blu-ray release of Deepwater Horizon, starring Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, Gina Rodriguez, Dylan O'Brien, and Kate Hudson. Amazing, says Jackie K. Cooper of Huffington Post. Shock and awe spectacle, says Justin Chang of LA Times. A thrilling tribute to real American heroes, says Sean Edwards of Fox TV. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. One of the most important films of the year, says Mark S. Allen of ABC TV. Suspenseful, says A.O. Scott of the New York Times. And white knuckle tension, says Brian Truitt of USA Today. The film itself is from 2016, rated PG-13, and runs 107 minutes. Hold on just one second here. Up next is the 2007 Blu-ray release of Deliverance, starring Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Ned Beatty and Ronnie Cox. Directed by John Boorman. The film itself is from 1972, renewed in 2000. Rated R, and runs 109 minutes. Up next is the 2006 Blu Ray release of The Departed, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and Mark Wahlberg, directed by Martin Scorsese. 4 stars, a new American crime classic from the legendary Martin Scorsese, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Martin Scorsese's best film since Goodfellas, says Scott Mantz of Access Hollywood. Also starring Martin Sheen, Ray Winstone, Vera Farmiga, and Alec Baldwin. The film itself is from 2006, rated R, and runs 151 minutes. Up next is the 2009 Blu-ray release of 20th Anniversary Edition Blu-ray release of Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Starring Danny Aiello, Ozzie Davis, Ruby Dee, Richard Edson, Giancarlo Esposito, Spike Lee, Bill Nunn, John Turturro, and John Savage. The film itself is from 1989, rated R, and runs 2 hours. 4 more for this video. And up next is the 2020 Blu-ray release of Doolittle, starring Robert Downey Jr. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, Harry Collett, Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, John Cena, Kumail Nanjiani, Octavia Spencer, Tom Holland, Ralph Fiennes, Selena Gomez, and Marion Cotillard. Directed by Stephen Gaghan. The film itself is from 2020, rated PG, and runs 1 hour and 42 minutes. Up next is the 2019 Blu-ray release of Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Delightful family fun, says Molly Freeman of Screen Rant. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Dora, how dare you do this? That's it. You are grounded, 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 grounded for all eternity. Go to your room right now. Dora is a goldmine of fun, says James Vernier of Boston Herald. Starring Isabella Moner, Eugenio Derbez, Michael Pena, Eva Longoria, and Danny Trejo. Directed by James Robin. The film itself is from 2019, rated PG, and runs 102 minutes. Up next is the 2014 Blu-ray release of Dreamcatcher, starring Morgan Freeman, Thomas Jane, Jason Lee, Damian Lewis, Timothy Olyphant, Tom Sizemore, and Donnie Wahlberg. Directed by Lawrence Kasdan. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. The film itself is Dreamcatcher oozes with horror, says Miami Herald. The film itself is from 2003, rated R, and runs 134 minutes. And last but not least is the 2011 Blu Ray release of Due Date, starring Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis. A raucous ride, says Peter Travers of Rolling Stone. Here's the front, the back, and the spine. Also starring Michelle Monaghan, Juliette Lewis, and Jamie Foxx. Directed by Todd Phillips. The film itself is from 2010, rated R, and runs 95 minutes. Well, that's going to do it for part 14 of... That's going to do it for part 14. Stay tuned tomorrow. We'll do 15 and 16. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you again in my next video. Bye-bye. Take care.